I don't think I did anything at all today to move me forwards in my goal, my pursuit of my goal to become a more established motivational wellbeing speaker. And the purpose of these videos is to kind of document what I'm doing. And today was a zero movement day. Though having said that, I got out for a run today, which doesn't sound like it's anything of any sort of significance on that front, but it was more of an off-road run. So I was looking at, I tried some new footpaths out around where I am, and the reason that's connected very, very tenuously to the goal is because it's all a part of, combined with yesterday's swim when I went to the lake for the first time this year, it's all a part of my mission to get to the Frog Graham Round, which is an event I'm doing in September. And that's going to take a little bit of training. And that's actually a fell run, a 40-mile fell run, including 4 lake swims. So that's going to need some very specific training. And the running side of things is something that although I've got a good bit of kind of background in, and I'm reasonably strong in running, it's not something I've been doing at all for a long time now. So that's the thing for me to kind of focus on the swimming and the running without compromising everything else that I'm doing with the jiu-jitsu. I'm enjoying the gym still, and I want to keep going with that. Now, why is that significant, and how's it connected? Because let me just shut this door. Dogs barking at something out there. Because the event that I'm doing is, I guess, similar in many ways to some of the other events I've done, like the Ironman a couple of years ago, last year's 100-mile ultra, the 100-mile ultra from 3 years ago, and the 10 back-to-back marathons. All of those events and this Frog Graham have a couple of things in common. First of all, they're just batshit crazy, stupid challenges to set yourself that every single time I do them, I ask myself, why the hell am I doing this? So that's the first thing that I have in common, but that's also the thing that I kind of get out of it the most. But the second thing is that they have all provided things for me to talk about and write about. And this is an interesting one for me because I guess last year when I was coming into Endure, I had this moment where I was thinking to myself, am I doing these challenges? Am I doing it just because I want to write about it and talk about it? Or am I doing it because I want to be doing it? And, given that when I'm actually doing them, I'm like, I honestly question what the hell I'm doing for most of the 24-hour events that I've done. Anyway, so I was thinking about this quite a lot last year, and it's been on my mind. And then somebody asked me when I was up at the Wire Forest talk afterwards. He asked me, he didn't ask me, but he just said, "Oh, I guess when you're doing these events, then they have a business consequence because they provide the things that you talk about in the presentations that I give." Not that I talked about it particularly in the one a couple of weeks ago, but that was another moment where I thought to myself, well, actually, how much of what I'm doing is for me, and how much of it is because I want to create stories, create points, have a story that I can tell that I can use. Essentially, is that why I'm doing this? And today and yesterday, if I was sort of drifting towards this unknown, why am I doing this? This kind of crisis of certainty and uncertainty about what my motivations are for doing this. Yesterday and today's run and swim really kind of reminded myself that it is absolutely, it's absolutely for me, first of all. But secondly, just because I'm able to take things out of it and use in other situations, take stories from that's a part of it. That's a bonus for me, but it's definitely not the driving force. And in fact, this event in September, there's going to be one of the things that's really attractive about this event for me is there's absolutely no audience, there's no crowd, There's not even any marshals. You have to just go and figure out the course yourself. 40 miles of fell running. You have to navigate and find out where you're going to get into the lake and out of the lake and all those things. You have to work that out yourself. And there's no fanfare at the end. You get there, you get to the end, and you just, I think, go into the pub and say I finished, and they just, check your GPS or whatever. So make sure that you've hit the right waypoints along the way. So very, very different to everything else that I've done, where there's like, crowds and people watching and people cheering, and there'll be none of that this time. And that's actually a really attractive proposition for me. It's kind of one of the reasons why I've chosen this for this year, because I just want to, I guess, prove to myself that first and foremost, this is for me. So there's a big connection between my little run on the footpaths and trails today and speaking. It's even just doing this little video now, actually, thanks again, daily videos, has been a good reminder for me that this is something that is absolutely first and foremost for me. And there's things that I get out of it professionally, but that's only ever a bonus. And I remember speaking to my friend Alex Bellini, I've talked about in these videos a couple of times before, and he said to me that you can't just keep on talking about the things that you've done. And this was a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, when we had this conversation. He said you can't just keep on going through it over and over again. The challenges you've achieved, the things you've done. You need to have more breadth and depth than that. And he's done some incredible things, and he talks about them, but he doesn't hang his entire talk and speech on those things like rowing the Pacific and rowing the Atlantic and so on. So that was a really kind of interesting point when he was talking about this. Is kind of way back now. It must be at least 3 years ago, maybe even 4 years ago, when we had that conversation out for a run, and it's kind of stayed with me. And as much as I do like having the stories and the things that I've learned and taken away from these events and challenges I've accomplished, there's a lot more. There's a lot more for me to share than just telling people how far I've run, which is pretty boring, really, and a slight hinge of lunacy in it as well. Not even I understand it. Not even I enjoy doing it. Yet I still keep going out there and doing it. So figure that one out. Anyway, that's my check-in for the day. Bank holidays, not exactly the most productive days for me with family and stuff, but back on it tomorrow. Looking forward to getting stuck in for the week. Speak to you soon. Bye for now.